Welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel, everyone. This is Rich making another video on XRP today as usual. So wherever you are in this vast planet, I hope you're all having a nice day today. We will discuss XRP, and I frequently discuss micro payments on this channel. I always play snippets of Brad Garlinghouse or David Schwartz discussing micropayments. Here, however, Navin Gupta explains how XRP might be utilized for small-scale payments. Listen to it. Hello. Today, the Wall Street Journal and FT want to allow Jay to purchase access to a single article. So, sure, you might ask, hey, you know what? I don't want to pay for a subscription online. For whatever reason, you're a consumer who doesn't want to spend $40, but you're willing to pay 10 cents to read that one article about Bitcoin that you really like and that your friends have been talking about. The only challenge these newspapers face in reaching the millions of readers who only want to read a single article is how to collect the 10 cents from you, as it will cost them $1 to do so. In some ways, public chains like XRP address this issue because, in essence, you could pay them a micropayment of 10 cents in XRP for practically nothing, and they would receive it instantly in real time. They would be pleased to change that into US dollars at the transaction level or in large quantities. After that, you can read the article, and all of a sudden they can reach millions of clients around the world who only want to make small payments of $1, $2, or $5 because the standard payment system is incredibly inefficient and, in essence, suboptimal if the payment is less than $1,000. Micropayments will result in the termination of this subscription. Let's say you want to see a Disney Plus movie but don't want to pay for the subscription each month. For example, you could pay a small amount, view the film, then pay a small amount for the next one you want to see, and so on. That is the wonderful thing about micropayments. The ability to get payment from the moment you punch the time clock until the conclusion of the day is also made possible by micropayment. All day long, they would simply stream money at you. Micropayments are the only way to do that, and it will completely transform the game. By collaborating with Malaysia and Japan to connect their quick payment systems for merchants, the Philippine Central Bank is preparing for instant cross-border payments under Project Nexus. Although XRP and Ripple are not mentioned in this piece at all, we are already aware of Ripple's ties in the Philippines. On-demand liquidity transactions have increased according to Ripple's Philippines corridor. That was back in the year 2019. We witnessed this last year. Ripple in the Philippine Central Bank. To learn more about some of the groundbreaking solutions being developed there, we had the honor of meeting with important players. I had to return twice since the city is so lovely. Thus, Ripple has been collaborating with the Philippines for a long time, creating remittance channels and so forth. Therefore, it seems possible that Ripple's technology is already being used there as their central bank prepares for cross-border and real-time payments. And they might even be making use of on-demand liquidity. From here, I'd like to see where that leads. Euro stablecoin on the XRP ledger is confirmed by the MD of Ripple Europe. Therefore, at a panel discussion at Paris Blockchain Week 2025, the MD of Ripple Europe made a statement. Additionally, they are discussing the introduction of a new stablecoin to the XRP ledger. Starting with custody solutions, Ripple and SOSG, Binforge's partnership has since grown to include stablecoin issuance. As mentioned by Craddock, we collaborated with OSGE and Forge on custody at first, and now more generally on releasing their EuroCV stablecoin on the XRP network. Since the XRP ledger was created to manage digital currencies issued by central banks, you should expect to see a lot more stable cryptocurrencies on it. Furthermore, a digital currency issued by a central bank is simply a stable coin. The difference isn't that great. I'm awaiting the RLA-UR launch of Ripple. That will undoubtedly occur at some point in the future. On the other hand, Ripple is constantly expanding. Projects are now beginning to onboard on the XRP ledger as well. For holders of XRP, this year is going to be fantastic. Only cryptocurrency companies licensed by MiCA will be permitted to advertise in the U via Google. Thus, consider it this way. Anything that doesn't comply with MiCA can't even, in the EU, you won't even see advertisements for anything that doesn't comply with MiCA. However, it appears that they prolonged it until mid to late 2025, after which these advertisements would probably no longer be displayed. I had assumed that they would do this last year. However, this creates new opportunities for RLUSD and later XRP. Cyprus is the source of this. The positive news won't stay stifled forever. When a major piece of news breaks, you frequently don't even see it because, for whatever reason, it gets suppressed. Do you recall the USD Max Digital plus Ripple? This is just how significant and revolutionary that was. Thus, March 19, 2025, London Today, LMAX Digital, a division of LMAX Group that deletes institutional digital assets exchanges, said that it has added Ripple USD RLUSD to its list of trading instruments. LMAX Digital keeps emphasizing its contribution to closing the divide between decentralized and traditional finance. It appears like RLUSD is being used to close that gap. Right now, people would immediately say, well, that's RLUSD. That has no significance for XRP. However, consider this. If you like to send RLUSD, you can use RippleNet, which will be quick and affordable. But now that you're using XRP to move that RLUSD, it's really quick and inexpensive. This is the game-changing aspect of it, because RLUSD will be used across the XRP ledger wherever it is used. Additionally, XRP will frequently be the one moving that stablecoin. The CEO of SBI Holdings, Kito, has been recommended by US-based investment management company Dolan Investments to join the board of directors of Fuji Media Holdings, the biggest media conglomerate in Japan. Thus, this man may suddenly be sitting on the board of Fuji Media because he is a huge fan of XRP. Now, consider all of the Ripple advertisements that are now airing in Japan. However, this may possibly go beyond that. Consider organizing things more so that XRP can be used in Japan's banking sector as well. In Japan, everything points to XRP and Ripple. Once more, I'm interested in seeing where this leads. Mr. Man is the source of this. How to destroy a currency without anyone noticing so that the IMF may provide emerging economies stars and enable supranational currencies like XRP to serve as the backstop for all currencies without the need for a mediator or intermediary. Slowly destroy the cash to avoid detection. Next, insert the new one. Here is what Jim Rickards has to say. However, it is if the money can be inflated. To put it another way, the US owes $17 trillion. How can $17 trillion be reduced to $8 trillion? Divide the dollar's value in half. Therefore, it remains nominally $17 trillion. You simply have to pay $8 trillion for it. The oldest financial joke is, I have a problem if I owe you $1 million. However, you have a dilemma since you have to collect if I owe you $1 billion. I can simply leave. Sleep the next day, I can say. However, we owe $4 trillion to China. That indicates an issue for them. For all we would have to do is say, hey, China, grab your $4 trillion. We just printed it, so good luck purchasing a loaf. And it's a more severe version of the elites needing to take over the globe.